Yo, Dre, I've got something to say. We spoke a lot on previous videos about how black liberation fights for equal rights, equality, freedom um, has always been met with white violence. Or we haven't talked about that. We've always talked about how violent the white man is and how the face of the criminal has been made out to be the black man. Throughout history, we can go from this past week, let's just take it down to the Civil War and the abolishment of slavery. That was when the police continued their racist ways. Before the Civil War, they were rounding up black people, escaped slaves, or if they saw a black person in the woods, and they would beat them relentlessly. After the Civil War, slavery continued. It was just continued with incarceration, and hence police and blacks are still predominantly incarcerated today. I haven't learned from that in history yet. The Jim Crow times and all the lynchings, black people were killed all the time. The major massacres throughout cities in the United States as black people gained wealth. Over in Tulsa, like Wall Street and Elaine, Arkansas, hundreds, probably thousands of black people just massacred. It was an awful incident under what's now a prison in Wrightsville, Arkansas, where a lot of black kids were left in to die in a burning building. Talk about the civil rights movement. That was, they killed Malcolm and Martin Luther King. They killed Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And no matter what they try to tell you about Islam and Malcolm, it was a white man. Throughout that time, the FBI had both of those guys under surveillance. Now we come up to today, and after the Black Lives Matter movement has been met and answered with violent, last weekend, violent white men predominantly, the white guy, the violent ones. And sure enough, all they want to talk about is how many police officers Black Lives Matter people killed. By the way, can you name me one? Those 2 to 3 law enforcement officers that were killed out in California were Boogaloo Boys. It's the white guy. White violence is a problem. Let's continue to fight for the liberation of black people. Let's support black lives. Yo, Dre, I've got something to say.